Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And so today I wanted to talk about how, as a real estate investor, I plan on keeping up with cold callers and other real estate investors. So, the more that you're in this business, especially when you're local to the area, you're going to run across a lot of cold callers. For example, as I stated in a previous video, I get calls for one of my properties every single day. Why do they call me? Is because they see that it's in my name and they see that I'm not physically living in the property. And so they always call me about that specific property. I truly believe that if I wasn't living in this property, people would know and they would also contact me in regards to that as well. Now, before we get any further into this, I ask that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. It truly will help the channel grow and it will allow me to produce the best content, not only for you, but for myself. So I want to produce better and better content as we get into the 2024 year. And so that would truly help. Now, when it comes to cold calling, um, I receive cold calls at least once or twice a day, maybe 3 times a day at the most. And these people are relentless. When I see that, it is not a shocker anymore. Hello, they'll be shocked that I picked up. Hi, I'm calling about X and X property. It's always the same few lines, and I'm very, very sure that it's a extremely low retention rate. Um, People being hanged up on, of course, they're not going to enjoy that environment. And competing with that, you have to factor in a few things. You have to understand that that is someone else's business model. They are scaling up tons of property to the point where their cash flow is so huge that they can pay a cold caller or 2 cold callers or 3 cold callers um, every single week, every single month, every single year to reach out and contact people in regards to their rental properties. Um, and it can be fairly easy to do so when you're looking at a property that's sitting vacant and not being rented out currently, or a property that needs a lot of work done, and the buyer and the owner doesn't want to get that work done. But they're actually contacting me, and my property has not been vacant since 2021. So they obviously see a long-term tenant paying a decent amount in rent, and they're interested in that. Is very appealing to them. In my case, I see no reason to even entertain the thought of selling the properties to them. But on another note, let's get back into how do I compete. So personally, I have to analyze several deals. I don't look for rentals that are already being rented out. I look for listings on the MLS. I look for listings on Redfin. I look for listings on Zillow that are active listings. Now, when people are doing cold calls, they're already paying huge salaries, this and that. A lot of their cash flow goes into getting deep discount deals. Okay? Properties on the MLS, they're not looking to hugely discount their deals. However, there are always cracks in the market that you can find, and you can find those by searching for active listings, active homes that are being sold. In order to know that a property is distressed, a lot of the time it'll be listed on the MLS rather than you walking by and finding it yourself. So in this digital era, there's not a lot of people going door to door and driving for dollars and this and that. Can you do that in several neighborhoods? Absolutely. But if you truly want success, you need to see where the biggest traction is. And there's no right or wrong answer, but the approach I took is utilizing all the information that I have, utilizing all the research sources that I have, and then trying to come out with the best deal. I understand my competition. I understand what other people are going to bid on a property. I understand how much over asking they may be willing to go. I understand if a property is going to be reduced by 10 or 15,000 before it goes under contract. What I'm trying to do is, because it's going for 10 or 15,000 less, I'm trying to get 20, 30,000 less. That is very difficult to do in this market. On top of that, I'm also trying to use creative financing. On top of that, I'm also trying to get cash back at closing. So there's a lot of different things that come into effect that would make it harder for me to get this deal done. However, I'm banking on the fact that there won't be as many eager buyers in the market. When I go to visit these properties, I typically will see another uh, investor when I go and visit these properties. So an investor will also look at the property, look at the numbers, and most of the time we'll both be passing on the property in this market in 2023 going into 2024. Why is that? Well, because we know it doesn't make sense. And we're all crunching the numbers in different ways. They may be crunching the numbers for 25% down. I may be crunching the numbers as a primary residence and be looking at 5 to 0% down. And so we all have different formulas for how we're going to purchase this house and what price point we can purchase it out at in order to still make cash and be successful. So that's the thing. My strategy is a low barrier of entry, higher risk, but also maximum reward because I'm not truly putting any of my own money into the deal. With that being said, there's going to be people who are willing to put their money into the deal, lowering the cost of acquisition and also lowering the cost of to earn cash flow. With that, you can also look at forced depreciation. So now you have to buy properties that aren't ready to go. So when dealing with cold callers, I'm not truly dealing with cold callers because I'm not in that let me look at the rental space and try and buy their properties that are not renting. Instead, I'm looking at the buying space and trying to just buy a property that's already listed on the market. So I've already killed one bird with one stone. These are sellers that are willing to sell. I don't have to beg them to sell. I only have to beg them to accept the price that is less than what they want. If you're in real estate, here's the one piece of advice that you waited almost 8 minutes to get. And that advice is never pay full price. Even if it's $1 short, never pay full price. My first property, I got $5,000 off and about $3,500 back at closing. This property, I got $5,000 back at closing. Never pay full price. No matter how little it may seem, it will be a big benefit to you. And all it takes is you opening your mouth. All it takes is you saying, hey, I need this. Give me something for getting you out of this home. Now, obviously, I wouldn't fall for that because I'm me. But again, as an investor, you have to look for any ways to make money. Wouldn't you rather have saved $10,000 as I did, about roughly $13,500 as I did? Did I need the money? Absolutely not. Has it benefited me? Absolutely, it has. And so again, your negotiation skills, these things, you're going against people who are paid to do something versus you who has to earn every single dollar. Who you think is going to be more successful? The person making $11 an hour to talk to you on the phone with the same script, or the person who has to actively reach out to investors himself? Right? So when my numbers are right, when my numbers are closer to what they're looking for, I will obviously be the one that they want to speak to for these deals. However, if my numbers are so far off, then the likelihood of them reaching out to me is very minuscule. And so we also have to understand that there's a give and take. If your numbers are not meeting their expectations, if you're pricing yourself out of the market by going $30,000 less instead of 15, then of course you're not going to get that deal. But you don't want that deal because it's not a deal for you, right? If it was a deal for you, it would meet your numbers. It would meet your expectations. And so if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and on Rumble, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.